Hey, what's going on YouTube too? Sketchy coming at you, and I know, it's been a while, but fear not, this channel is still on track on becoming the diehard, hardcore Iron Harvest channel that you are seeking, so don't go nowhere, alright? I got you, I promise. With that out of the way, there hasn't been much to report lately other than the alpha dropping this month. It's gonna be this month. It's this week or so. I don't know exactly, but the first 2 weeks of this month, it is August 1st right now, and King Art Games mentioned that it's gonna drop early this month. So if you're a Kickstarter backer, yay! And if you're not, boo, you can't have it. I'm just kidding. There's gonna be a link in the description below called pre-order something, whatever I decide to tag it. You can go there, buy it for yourself, and you get all the perks that a Kickstarter gets, which is alpha, beta, newsletters, and access to the secret Discord that we've been using to give them feedback. So ta-da, here you go. With that out of the way, when the demo does go live, I'm going to shoot a flare up into the sky using all my social media sites, Facebook, Twitters, Instagrams, whatever. You can follow me there, and if you want to know whenever it goes live, I will do that. Maybe I'll even live stream it. Comment section. So yeah, we can talk about it. So in regards to news and updates of Iron Harvest, King Art Games is doing one dev blog every month. We're a bit behind, but today we'll be dissecting dev blog number 1 for the people that aren't up to date with what's going on in the production and or behind the scenes even. Today we're going to be covering infantry, battlefield weapons, weapon systems, unit designs, and more. So if you want to follow along, everything will be in the description below as I mentioned already, and let's get started, shall we? Alright, so let's just kick it off with the infantry units in Iron Harvest. Infantry units are the backbone of every army in Iron Harvest. They are cheap, relatively fast, and most important of all, extremely versatile. They fight in squads and can level up to 2 times, veteran and elite. They are also the only units in the game that can conquer resource points, buildings, flags, and man a bunker. So this is something that we've been used to in RTS, where in Company of Heroes you can drop off a soldier, whether you drive him there or whatever, drop him off from an airplane. He has to land on a resource point to be able to cap it. Same thing in Dawn of War 3, where you can teleport a bone singer or launch an orc across the map. Whatever it is, it has to be a foot soldier to be able to conquer that point. No surprises there. They are unarmored units, so keeping them in cover whenever possible, for example in a trench or behind a wall, is super crucial, and each faction has one standard infantry unit. So let's start off with the Polonia faction, which has the Polonia Riflemen. Polonia Riflemen are standard Polonia resistance fighters. They use rifles that gives them the best range and accuracy of all standard infantry units, but they also have the slowest rate of fire. To be able to compare that to something that reminds me of Eldar, how they had the highest range but the slowest reload. They had a mechanic where they couldn't shoot for a while. And in Company of Heroes, they kind of remind me of the US forces, how they weren't that good up close, but from afar they pretty much pack a punch. Also, the Polonia Riflemen, or being resistance fighters, sometimes civilians can join them free of charge and become infantry units. This seems kind of cool. It also reminds me of Russia in Company of Heroes, how you can have random people essentially spawn from buildings and that they would assist you in combat. Hopefully this is going to be balanced properly, but it sounds pretty damn cool. So jumping into the Rusviet faction, you have your Rusviet Warrior as a standard infantry. They are equipped with semi-automatic shotguns. I'm not gonna lie to you, the first time I read this I was like, oh god, please stop the spam already. Semi-automatic shotguns, I mean, it depends how this is balanced. At least they're not fully automatic shotguns. That would be a nightmare. As you can tell, they are most effective infantry weapons, or they have the most effective infantry weapon at short range, but are less effective at longer distances, so you have to get up close, and doing so puts you in a lot of danger. So this is one unit that you have one additional member, so 6 in total. And the next faction is going to be Saxony, which have the Saxony Stormtroopers. So the Saxony standard infantry is equipped with a modern machine pistol. So this thing is going to spray like brat, probably, or burst or whatever. It has a high rate of fire, medium range, and most expensive units, but also best equipped. So they kind of remind me of Space Marines and one of the German factions in Company. Oh, actually, Who was most expensive? I think it was actually the US Forces that was most expensive in Company of Heroes. So we'll see how that goes. Again, balancing between these three is going to be very important. However, the real strength of Infantry in Iron Harvest is its ability to be able to equip different weapons and tools on the fly in order to be ready for every situation. Alright, so let's talk about the battlefield weapons and equipment in this game. So standard infantry are pretty damn useful in any situation, but their options are limited. It doesn't matter if you're equipped a rifle or shotgun or even a machine pistol, none of these will penetrate a mech. None of these will help you build a fortification, and none of these will be able to heal your comrades. You will need a specialist for that job. Infantry units become specialists by collecting weapons or equipment right off the battlefield, and there are 6 other classes of infantry in the game. Grenadiers is one of them. They have the same main weapon as the faction standard infantry, but they can also use grenades that cause an area of effect damage and damage to light or medium armored units. MG units, or machine gun units, are equipped with a light MG that needs a short build-up time before it's combat ready. However, when it is, it's very effective against unarmored units in a cone of fire. Pretty used to that. I think Company of Heroes had the same mechanic where an MG nest would be down, there's a huge cone in front of it, and Ludus from Dawn of War 3 reminds me of that as well. Gunners are the third class infantry, which are the heavies amongst infantry units, equipped with a cannon of some sort, and they can damage everything up to heavy armored units. Pretty slow, but they are pretty damn tough. Engineers, poorly armed, but extremely versatile. They can build buildings and fortifications, repair mechs, lay mines, and use explosives. Next, we have medics. If you want to keep your most experienced squads alive, for that you can heal and reinforce your troops near your HQ, or you can have your field medic take care of them out in the field. Last but not least, we have the flame thrower. Yes, there will be a flamethrower in this game. It's going to be equipped with a 20-liter liquid hell canister that uses a flamethrower to pretty much melt every unit in front of them, even in trenches and bunkers. However, it does explode when you kill it, so maybe there might be some friendly fire, so you gotta be careful with that. Alright, so next up we have the weapon systems. Weapon systems are powerful weapons that need more than one person to operate, like anti-mech cannons, heavy MGs, and mortars. You can build these weapons or find them in the battlefield. Remember that a whole infantry squad is needed to operate and guard these deadly machines. When you conquer a weapon system and order your squad to operate it, 3 men will operate the system while the rest guard it with their regular weapons. If one operator dies, one of the guards take their place. If there are no guards left to operate the weapon, the squad abandons it and becomes a regular infantry squad once again. Weapon systems are very powerful, but also super slow. Your soldiers have to push them around and they need time to set it up. All weapon systems have a cone of fire, so direction and placement is very important. Alright, next up we have designing infantry units, which I'm not going to go too far into detail with this. If you want to read up on how they went about designing these units, I think it's pretty interesting how they started off using a Polonia rifleman from, planning it out, gathering references, artwork, then modeling him, putting a texture on and 3D models and whatnot, rigging and scanning, and then throwing them into an animator's hands and alright, make this look cool. I find that super interesting because that is the field or industry that I work in. But if you want to read more about it, again, links in the description below. They do make pretty good points. There's readability, how they might have to sacrifice certain things, especially in realism, to be able to differentiate the unit from vegetation, so they had to pump up the colors a little bit. It was kind of tough for them to get that faction look, so each of them looked distinguished from each other. And functionality, so it was all about hitting that right silhouette to be able to be like, oh, that's a Polonia gunner, or that's a Saxony gunner. So being able to see that immediately is pretty damn key, because you want to be able to see who's who without squinting your eyes or getting close to the screen. Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this. I know it's pretty short, but next video is going to be devblog number 2, in which we'll talk about mechs, destruction, and other programmers. I don't know if I mentioned this, but there is a little bit of a spotlight during devlog #1 for one of the animators. So again, if you want to check out what he's been working on, I think his name is Thomas, lead animator. So congrats to you. Thank you for doing all the hard work over there. And thank you guys for stopping by and staying tuned. Anyways, I'll see y'all next time. Again, there's going to be links in the description everywhere down below. I'm going to try my best to annotate them properly. But if you want, you can join the Discord channel if you want to holler at me and just talk to me and whatnot about Iron Harvest, because we've been doing that quite some time now. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Peace!